All right, so here's where we're at on the garden. Um, Caitlin's over there moving compost from the truck into our new beds. Um, so what these are, if we go to like one of these end ones, it becomes more obvious. So obviously, to start out with, is just the local soil, right? And the local soil kind of looks like this. It's got a lot of clay in it, a fair bit of sand, and it does have a fair bit of nutritional value, so to speak, but it's tough for roots to penetrate it. It tends to glue itself together, become a concretion. And so, ignore this, this fell over in the wind. So what we're doing, it's one of our lonely isolated beds. I'm trying to figure out what to put all the way over here. But we've got basically a layer of composted goat manure down. So there's still some big pieces, but we're trying to get rid of most of the big pieces. The tiller does a somewhat good job of breaking them up. And then we bought the premium compost from Soilutions. I am not in any way affiliated with them, but it does seem like a pretty good product. It's organic, supposedly, and overall, really nice stuff. That's a bucket full of it there. And we're basically doing, the bottom layer is just whatever's on the ground, and then a layer of the composted goat manure, and then a layer of the compost. And for some areas, it's going to be a lasagna garden kind of a thing, where basically it's just one layer on top of the other on top of the other, like right here where these peas are at. You can see a lot of them. I've seen better days. A lot of this is very experimental, and it's kind of early on in the learning experience, but as you can see there, we've got peas, and this is just native soil manure compost, like that. But then over here, this is me tilling all of them together, and as you can see, it does still stick together, but if you work on it at all, it breaks apart. And so my hope is that this will be a little bit easier for the plant roots to break through. I've never really put this much effort into my soil. I've always just kind of run with whatever is locally available, and when I'm in a landscape like this, kind of more of a desert prairie landscape, tends to not work out very well for me. When I've been in the forest, it works a little bit better because there's a little bit more organic material. So we're kind of somewhere in between. We're just nudging it in the right direction with some extra organic material, and hoping that that makes a substantial difference in the quality of it. Yeah, and I'm just using this tiny little thing. It's my back isn't the greatest, and so I tend to do a lot of light work instead of a small amount of heavy work, to kind of prevent me from hurting my back. So just working it with this, and I mean, as you can see, this stuff goes pretty deep. You do eventually kind of hit rock at the bottom there, but still, goes deep enough that if we kind of rake all this into one big patch. Now, one thing I have thought about too is that this, as it is kind of sunken, and so this might not be a bad way to do it too. Just plant into what we've got there, so that it'll essentially kind of help it hold moisture. And that's another positive, hopefully, over the organic material, is kind of a combination of aeration and holding water. That's kind of, they're two contradictory forces, right? But with our soil, we mostly need the breaking up of, the increase in particle size, so that there's, essentially less reason for the soil to clump together and become concrete, or adobe in this case. So that's what we're doing: manure, compost, native soil, mix it all together, till it all together, and see how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll keep posting as things get on this year. Bye now.